I'm often asked, which do you prefer, taking photographs or video? Both give me immense satisfaction, and each has a place in wildlife photography.
Sunset now before Louis has to leave. Make sure you get him when he goes there. Here we go, that's the big sunset. Eyes are opening up.
I don't know, he's looking pretty big in my lens, eh?
Wildlife photography is mostly about action, taking the right shot at the right time and presenting it in that moment. Videography tells the whole story, the movement, the excitement, the sounds, the action. It replays the moment and brings it back to life for the viewer. Wild dogs remain an endangered species, and one is always very fortunate to get a sighting. If they remain in the immediate area and one is able to photograph them, then it is a real bonus. This pack rested at this dam for about an hour and allowed great photographic and video opportunities. Part of the experience is getting to the sighting. The tracker, seated on the front of the vehicle, guides the driver through dense bush, each photographer ready to capture their special image. Then suddenly a growl and a movement, and we have a rare moment to capture mating leopards. The sighting of the endangered white rhino is really satisfying, particularly in this area, where poaching remains a problem for those responsible for their well-being. Another Big 5 sighting as we come across a small herd of buffalo wallowing in the muddy water. Just before sunset, we arrive at the hyena den. A spotted hyena feeding her two pups. It is interesting to see the interaction between mother and pups. This hyena den was home to several females and pups of different age groups. Water is a scarce commodity in Africa, and wildlife need to travel great distances to find it. We followed this family of lion, two brothers and two sisters, as they searched for water. The despair clearly visible as they came across yet another dry water hole. Eventually, water is found and the family can settle down for a well-earned drink. As darkness fell, we made our way back to the area of an earlier leopard sighting, hoping to see yet another mating ritual. We were not disappointed. Another early morning start, and the female leopard from last night is spotted at the waterhole, and probably in search of food. Consensus is reached that we make a stop at the hyena den. Mom is out and about and playing with her pups and looks to be babysitting a slightly older one. She seems to be stamping her authority on one of the young pups. As Mom keeps a watchful eye, the young pups are enjoying a playful tug of war with the slightly older pup's ears. sighting of yet another leopard in a dry riverbed. This leopard is clearly happy to be photographed, and photographers remain ready for an action photograph. And there it is. My one wish was to be able to photograph a leopard with a kill in a tree, and on this trip I was granted this wish. A female leopard had killed a grey duiker. It was late afternoon and I was aware that I needed to get some good footage, as it becomes far more difficult to film once the sun has set. However, no action. The leopard was content, her kill was safe, and she was taking a nap. The light was fading fast, and I needed something to happen in the next few minutes. Otherwise, I would be left with the difficult task of filming in the dark. Then some movement, and it looks like some action is about to happen, but the light is almost gone, and it would seem that my only light source would be a spotlight, not ideal for video. As darkness sets in, the female leopard begins her meal. The crunching of bones, the dropping of bits of flesh, much to the delight of the hyena clan which had gathered around the bottom of the tree. The grey duiker is not a large meal for a leopard, but will see her through the next day or two. Cameras click wildly as she continues to pull flesh from her kill. Having changed our position, we could see that little now remained of the duiker. The stomach content held only by a piece of flesh. The hyena watching eagerly for it to break free. As with all kills, many will benefit.